welcome back, everybody, to, oh my goodness, there's already all kinds of people in here. Look at y'all guys being all punctual and stuff. Well, we got a lot to talk about today. Yes, the South Park episode was good fun. Tucky, you already got ahead of me there. They brutally mock ICE and Christino and JD Vance and Donald Trump, and it just continues to get better and better. On top of that, we're also going to talk about how Donald Trump now wants to federalize, we say it correctly, Washington, D.C. Why? Well, because the Doge staffer who went by the name of Big Balls apparently got beat up. That's why. No other reason. They're saying crime is just out of control in Washington, D.C., even though the last few times I've been there, it's been a really nice place to go. Global support for Israel is shifting to the point where even Germany is like, yeah, we're out. So we're going to talk about how Gaza is now under threat of being completely occupied by Israel. Israel is apparently given itself the green light, I'm sure with Donald Trump's support, to go ahead and take over all of Gaza. So that's going to be interesting. And they're telling people that, you guys should just leave. You should leave, even though we got you surrounded and the other side is literally the ocean. I don't know where are they going to go? Where are they going to go? Again, I'm tired of seeing videos of starving people walking 7 miles barefoot to get scraps. Also, Texas lawmakers, Donald Trump has recently decided to get the, and thank you for the gifted membership, Texas lawmakers, he wants the FBI to arrest him. For what? We don't know, because we haven't seen that they've broken any laws. Last I checked, not going to work, yeah, you get fired for it in normal circumstances, but in Republican circles, not showing up to work is just kind of like on par for their brand. I mean, Congress is off right now. They're not doing anything. But yes, they're mad because Texas Republicans are not in Texas to vote to gerrymander the entire state. And then we're also going to talk about ICE, of course, because I think something we should compare is education versus enforcement. Our priorities as a nation are completely screwed. We are cutting wages for teachers. I mean, even Mr. Mackey in South Park had to start working for ICE because they cut his wages as a teacher. But I mean, seriously though, wages for teachers, they want to shut down schools, they want to take away funding for schools, but then they want to give ICE agents $50,000 sign-on bonuses, and you don't even have to have any experience. But have no fear. Now, former Superman actor Dean Cain is to the rescue and now doing recruitment ads for ICE. I shit you not. So we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. I'm so glad you guys are here. And we have a lot to go over. So I do have some videos. I also have some news articles that we can go over. So let me try to decide what we want to go over first. First, I guess we'll talk about how Donald Trump wants to go after... No. You know what? I know exactly where I want to start. First, let me show you guys my new background. You guys will love this. This is my new background for my computer. Isn't that perfect? It's awesome, right? It's so good. So, all right. So these shows that I do on my own, I want to do it a little differently. I want to kind of have like a hang out format with you guys, comments. If you guys see any stories pop up that you think we should look at, or any live videos that pop up, you can always throw them in the comments. Like, we can literally go online and look anything up while we're doing these interactive lives that we're doing. I'm trying to do like how these streamers do it, how these young kids do it. Like even like Hassan Piker, how he does his shows. That's what streaming is. They literally just sit there and they go through news articles and they react and, interact with people in the comments. So that's kind of what I want to do. Fantasy Island, I know. And JD Vance is the plane guy. I forget what the hell was his name. I can't remember. Oh my God, it's going to drive me nuts. What was the little guy's name in Fantasy Island? But I just love how they depicted Fantasy Island as like they depicted Mar-a-Lago as Epstein's Island, basically, is what they did. Tattoo! Tattoo! That's what the blade, boss, the blade. It's so good. All right, so this is where I want to start. Ladies, we have a problem in America, and it's toxic masculinity. This recent report came out, a survey from Ledger here, a political survey of Americans, Trump, Epstein, and the American Party. And they asked some very interesting questions. If you go down to question number 10, and this is why I worry about the women of America, let's go down to number 10. Very important. Oh, wait, that's number 6. What the hell? Question 11. Where did question 10 go? Question 12. Question 13. Did I skip? Did I miss all of that? Where the hell is question 10? I meant, oh, come on, man. Anyway, they surveyed a bunch of people. Question number 10 was, did they remove it? That doesn't make any sense. Question 10 was, if you, oh, wait. Oh, never mind. Hold on. For some reason they're out of order. Okay, here we go. Potential impact of Trump's implication on Republican voters. Question 10. Did you see that Trump has, what? Has slaves in Dubai? Oh my God. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. Question 10. If Trump was officially implicated in Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking activities, would this make you more likely to vote for another party, or would it not affect your vote for Donald Trump? 47%. 47% of the people that were polled said that, yeah, Donald Trump could have had sex with kids and I'll still vote for him. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. And I almost want to say that 100% of that 47% are Republican men who would do the exact same thing. Think about it. 47% of the people that voted for Donald Trump, that's like almost 40 million people. That said, they could watch a video of Donald Trump doing disgusting things to little kids, and they would still vote for this guy. That's disgusting. That's disturbing. That means we have tens of millions of people in this country that are perfectly okay as having a raging pedo for president of the United States. This is deeply, deeply disturbing. If you guys want to look up, and there's a lot of interesting information in here, but if you guys want to look it up, it's Leger. And the title of it again was Trump, Epstein, and the American Party. I wanted to show you this before I play you this next video because I kind of feel like they go hand in hand, because a lot of these people that still support Donald Trump, even after they found out that he's most definitely involved with Epstein, are Christians. Christians, okay? Not real Christians. They're the ones that pray to white Jesus, not like real Jesus. You know what I mean? The American Christians. Okay. There's a guy, and now I'm going to forget his name. Honestly, it doesn't even matter at this point. Oh, no, I do remember his name, because Pete Hegseth reposted the video. Okay, the guy's name's Doug Wilson. Crusade for Christian Domination in the Age of Trump. He is a very influential MAGA Christian who believes that women shouldn't vote. They would be okay repealing the amendment that gives the women the right to vote. And the leader of our military forces just reposted this video. But I have part of the video, and I want to show it to you guys, because, ladies, we got a problem. America does not have an immigration problem. It has a fake Christian problem. It has a Nazi problem, is what it is. America, the immigrants are not the problem in this country. It's literally, this is why women are afraid of men these days. This is why women are afraid of men, because we have a entire group of men that think somehow women are property and they should just submit to them, and that they shouldn't have rights or credit cards or bank accounts or jobs. That you should be home in the kitchen just popping out babies. But God forbid you have a complication with that pregnancy, then you're dead, because then you won't be able to get treated for it. But this is the type of people that is very influential in these MAGA circles. Let me take this off stage, and I'm going to play this real quick. But ladies,
kind of people that people come out of.
This is two things. This is one, why people hate Christians in America now. And two, this is how all men on the right feel. Okay?
So you just think they're meant to have babies. That's it. They're just a vessel.
No, it doesn't take any talent to simply reproduce biologically. The wife and mother, who is the chief executive of the home, is entrusted with 3 or 4 or 5 eternal souls.
I'm here as a working journalist, and I'm a mom of 3.
Good for you.
Is that an issue
No.
for you?
No, it's not automatically an issue.
Christchurch senior pastor Doug Wilson is the leader of a Christian nationalist movement that believes in a patriarchal society where men are dominant and women are expected to submit to their husbands. Josh and Amy Prince, along with their 4 kids, moved from Washington State to Moscow, Idaho.
Dell, I just want to say thank you for watching over on Kick. It's a platform we don't get a lot of activity on.
Where Wilson's movement is based.
Do you see Amy as your equal?
Yes and no. In the sense that we're both saved by grace, we're absolutely on equal footing. But we have very different purposes, God-given.
But do you see yourself as the head of the household, as the man?
He is the head of our household.
Yes.
Yes, and I do submit to him.
So like moving here
I was just
was
gonna say that.
ultimately your decision.
Yes.
That's a great
great
example.
example.
Wilson says in his vision of a Christian society, women as individuals shouldn't be able to vote. His fellow pastors Jared Longshore and Toby Sumter agree.
In my ideal society, we would vote as households. And I would ordinarily be the one that would cast the vote, but I would cast the vote having discussed it with my household.
But what if
What
there's
the hell?
your wife doesn't want to vote for the same
Right.
person as you?
Right. Well, then that's a great opportunity for a good discussion.
There are some who have gone so far as to say that they want the 19th Amendment repealed.
I would support that. And I'd support it on the basis that the atomization that comes with our current system is not good for humans.
I don't even know what that means. I don't know what that means. But that interview was reposted by Pete Hegseth on his official government Twitter feed. So the Secretary of Defense does not believe that women should have the right to vote. Yeah, these people are just sick and twisted, and all claim to be, yeah. Do you really think you're going to heaven? Like, these people, honestly, I'm so curious. Like, do you really think you could be a shitty person? This is what I hate about fake Christians. They think that going to church and asking for forgiveness, asking this imaginary God of theirs for forgiveness is justification for them to be shitty human beings the rest of the time. Like 1 hour on Sunday, they're, oh, please forgive me, Jesus. I love you, Jesus. I love you. And then the rest of the time, they're like, lock up brown people. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all think you're getting into heaven? It's laughable. It is honestly laughable. And if heaven is full of people like MAGA Christians and all that stuff, I do not want to go. I have had enough of you dumbasses on earth. The last thing I want to do is spend my eternal afterlife with you dumb fucks. Like, seriously, I've had enough of you already, and I've only been involved in this shit for like 4 years. You know what I'm saying? So I can't even imagine spending the rest of my life, or my afterlife. Jesus, eternity. Literally, can you imagine spending, like, it's bad enough we have to spend these years with Trump supporters on earth. Can you imagine eternity? Eternity. I already lived next to a Trump supporter on earth. I don't need Trump supporting neighbors in heaven as well. Dear God. Anyway, again, like I said, thanks you guys. Thanks for watching, you guys. Real quick, just want to give you guys an update Looks like the next major protest is going to be September 2nd, so I am starting to try and fundraise for that. If you guys are able to donate, please visit the link tree in the description of this video or on our channel pages. And the GoFundMe, I updated it and put it at the top of our link tree. Also, other ways you can participate. We're actually, I think, monetized on Twitch now as well, which I haven't looked much into. On YouTube, you can do gifted memberships. There's stickers you can purchase, stuff like that. There's a bunch of different ways you guys are able to support us. We even have merch. That's also in our link tree. And we do a lot of hard work. And sometimes it is a little depressing because we don't get a lot of views on YouTube. Or Twitch or Kick. I mean, it's really becoming extremely difficult for people like me and Mike and James to do what we do. And now we have a new person coming on, Casey, that was on the show on Tuesday. She just fit right in, so I'm hoping to have her on the show more often. So we'll hopefully be adding a fourth member to do regular content. But we have a lot of plans, you know what I mean? We're going to be doing more IRL streams, protests, any events I come across that I am able to afford to go to, I will definitely go to. I've even texted my local mayor, asked him if there's anything I can do from a social media standpoint in my hometown. So can't find me on Kick. I don't even remember what my username is on Kick, to be honest with you. I don't use it that much. The only time I use it is for this and for gaming, but I don't spend any time on Kick. Yeah, I probably should look into that. I forget is it the VOR podcast? I can't remember. Because I know my username on Twitch is Sergeant Nobody 77, but that's just my gamer tag. So, all right, anyway, moving on. Let's talk about ICE and South Park, because they did not disappoint. The amount of times I laughed every time Christy Noma's face started to melt off of her. And they had to bring the NASCAR crew in. That was so good. Oh, you know what, though? We can look at, here, hold up. I mean, this is like the MAGA female, the women of MAGA. This is how they like to look. I don't understand. But let me go ahead and pull up Christy Nome before and after. She was like the original. She had the original Karen haircut too. Look at this. It's not. She looks younger now than she did before. Face-wise, anyway. Allegedly, she always wears her hair down like this because there's a lot of age lines that the Botox and fillers don't reach along the sides. Hence the Staples and the pit crew. Oh my God! But this is before and after. Yeah. Obviously, does not look the same. Okay, this is not health food and exercise and good skincare products. Okay, this is plastic surgery, and this is a trend among MAGA women. The expressionless face, the big oversized lips that just don't look natural on their faces. But she walks. Look at it. Look at the Karen haircut. Look at the Karen haircut. She has the John and Kate +8, the Kate Karen haircut. Like, look at this. You don't even look the same. I don't understand it. How old is she? How old? All right, you know what? Since we got Google out, may as well Google some stuff. How old is Christy Nome? She's 53. Right. Because that's how all 53-year-olds look. And this is the Mar-a-Lago look. Fillers, Botox, fake teeth, fake hair, fake everything. It's just... Ugh. Blech. So, anyway, she gets owned by South Park. Bad. Let me, do I have a... Yeah, so they posted, they lost the plot completely. So they posted on Homeland Security's Twitter feed, joinice.gov, and they used a promo shot that South Park used as their picture here. And then, of course, South Park, who does not give a shit, says, wait, so we are relevant. Hashtag eat a bag of dicks. The appropriate response. But this was, of course, before the episode aired. And after the episode aired, their tone was substantially different. Here is Christy Noem's response to the South Park episode.
Yeah, it never ends, but it's so lazy to just constantly make fun of women for how they look. Only the liberals and the extremists do that. If they wanted to criticize my job, go ahead and do that, but clearly they can't. They just pick something petty like that.
That's crazy. So, wait. What was the comment? You see what still? We're not seeing what you're talking about? Oh, you're not seeing what I'm talking about. Probably because I have to do this. Probably because I have to do this. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, it never ends, but it's so lazy to just constantly make fun of women for how they look. Only the liberals and the extremists do that. If they wanted to criticize my job, go ahead and do that, but clearly they can't. They just pick something petty like that.
Yeah, so, exactly, Kathy. Trump doesn't judge women by their looks. That's exactly what he does. He even tells, like, he'll see a pretty woman in the crowd and be like, hey, she's hot. Like, the guy. Yeah. It's so pathetic. But so, Christy Noem is now not happy. I may get in trouble for this, but I'm going to show part of the South Park episode just because it is fucking hilarious. Last time I may have gotten in trouble just because they did show naked animated Donald Trump. I mean, it was, but still, maybe that was why they got mad. But anyway, it was so bad. All right, so the episode, Mr. Mackey loses his job as a teacher because of all these Doge cutbacks, obviously, and defunding of schools. So he joins ICE, who is now apparently lifting age restrictions so you can be 70 years old now and work for ICE. I'll go over that article after this video. They portray they go to Dora the Explorer live, and that was Mr. Mackey's first mission. They go to Dora the Explorer live and arrest a bunch of people that were Dora the Explorer. Later on, they show Dora giving a massage. And at Mar-a-Lago, there's nothing but massage tables there and little girls massaging men. So, direct reference, obviously, to Epstein's Island. Even when you show up there, the whole Fantasy Island reference. But anyway, here is the ICE raid in heaven. Yes, they decided to raid heaven. This is crazy.
Tom, another protest today as thousands turned out in downtown Denver to voice their outrage against the ICE.
This is just out of control. A lot of the people being targeted in these raids are kind, hardworking, deeply faithful people who care for their families. I have no doubt that there are many, many Latinos in heaven.
It's so wrong, man.
Oh, this is bad. Okay.
Remember, only detain the brown ones. If it's brown, it goes down. Jesus, look out!
Bro, the end of the show is literally her walking into a pet store just murdering a bunch of puppies. And that's what happens throughout the entire show. Every time she sees a puppy, she freaking shoots it. It's so funny. I mean, it's not funny, obviously, but the way they troll her is just absolutely hilarious. But so what I was saying was Mr. Mackey joined ICE because apparently they're paying very well. And they're also waiving age restrictions. You can now be as young as 18. Donald Trump has actually suggested younger than 18, which reminds me of the whole Hitler Youth. Gives me the same kind of vibes. So they'll go through a medical screening, drug screening, and a complete physical fitness test. We are ending the age cap for ICE law enforcement. Qualified candidates now apply with no age limit. What do you mean qualified candidates? Like a pulse? And hatred for brown people? Are those the only qualifications for ICE? I'm confused. Like, what are your qualifications? $50,000 signing bonus, student loan repayment, and forgiveness options. They got rid of this shit for Biden. Remember how Biden was forgiving student loans? No, that's bad. But if you become part of Donald Trump's Gestapo with ICE Barbie here, they'll forgive your student loans. If you become a racist piece of shit and become part of the Fourth Reich and Donald Trump's brown shirts, you could get student loan repayment. Yeah. Administratively uncontrollable overtime? What does that mean? Administratively uncontrollable? Does it mean they're going to work you to death? Enhanced retirement benefits. And I just want to point out to all you guys that are considering working for ICE, I would like to point out that when the Nazis were tried after World War II, the "I was just following orders" line does not work. Yeah. No, I agree, Brina. People are not pissed off enough. I totally agree with that statement. People are not mad enough about this situation. Because they act like it's a joke. Like, they act like it's a literal joke. Like, look, remember how you guys told you, like, their Hitler posting. I showed you this post right here. Remember this? Okay. Heritage to be proud of, a homeland worth defending. The H in the heritage and the H in homeland are incorrectly capitalized to signify HH or Heil Hitler. If you think I'm crazy, let me show you this one. Serve your country. Defend your culture. What culture are we talking about here? Are we talking about white culture? Nazi culture? Like what culture are we speaking of here? This is very concerning rhetoric coming out of the Department of Homeland Security and Kristi Noem. Okay? And in order to be a Nazi in America, you don't even need an undergraduate degree. Again, you just need a pulse and at least be 18 until they lower it to whatever age there is. And you know how I could tell these people just completely lost the plot? Like, look at this picture of J.D. Vance. Look at this picture. J.D. Vance. Oh, I finally made it. That's what he posted. That's what he thinks this is funny. Like, anyway, that's, yeah. So you can now be part of ICE. You can be a Nazi and receive $50,000 sign-on bonuses, a big old fat salary, and student loan forgiveness. Better benefits than most Americans get. You only have to sell your soul to do it. That's it. That's it. So, yeah. Don't be like this next guy. Don't be like Dean Cain. Don't be like Dean Cain. He is out here. This is what happens with... I've noticed this with has-been celebrities. It seems like a lot of these people that used to be relevant in the 80s and 90s, Kid Rock, Dean Cain, there's a Hulk Hogan, all decided that they were just going to grift off the right to just retain some kind of relevance. That's what it feels like to me. It was like a dying star and just one last-ditch effort to be relevant in this world. But then it just turns out you're just a hateful bigot. And Donald Trump just brings out the worst in people. But anyway, let's watch this video of Dean Cain posting on his social media about how he is joining ICE. This is a joke, okay? For anybody who doesn't know who Dean Cain is, he was relevant for a very short period of time because of a TV show where he played Superman. It was so bad, I don't even remember the name of the show. Was it Superman? Or was it Clark and Lois? I don't remember. I don't care. It was terrible. Terrible. He's never a good actor. Apparently he's a filmmaker. I've never even heard of anything that he's made. Again, just a B-list celebrity trying to stay relevant, trying to keep, they still want that money. They still want that money. And with MAGA, as dumb as they are, they see the opportunity, and that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. But here he is. Let me show you this video. This is just crazy.
Hey, everybody. Dean Cain here. And for those, I am a sworn law enforcement officer, as well as being a filmmaker. I felt it was important to join with our first responders to help secure the safety of all Americans, not just talk about it. So I joined up. And here's your opportunity to join ICE.
ICE.
You can earn lots of great benefits and pay. Yeah, since President Trump took office, ICE has arrested hundreds of thousands of criminals, including terrorists, rapists, murderers, pedophiles, MS-13 gang members.
Yeah, well, we got one in the White House, too, that we're missing. Should arrest him.
Drug traffickers, you name it. Very dangerous people.
That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a fucking lie. Most of the people that have been arrested by ICE have not even committed a crime. And most of the rest of them have committed non-violent offenses. Occasionally, they'll catch a rapist or a murderer. Occasionally. Most likely by accident, just because they're rounding up everybody.
Who are no longer on the streets. You can defend your homeland and get great benefits like a $50,000 signing bonus. Think about that. Student loan repayment legally. Enhanced retirement benefits legally? And special pay for those in the field operations and law enforcement roles.
I'm sorry, wait, was he suggesting that Biden's student loan forgiveness was illegal? Why did he throw in legally?
You also don't need an undergraduate degree. You can get to work right away. So if you want to help save America, ICE is arresting the worst of the worst and removing them from America's streets. I like that. I voted for that. They need your help. We need your help to protect our homeland and our families. So check into it,
homeland shit,
as I said, and join today if it's something that tickles your fancy, because we can use you.
It tickles your fancy. Yeah, again, Dean Cain is not relevant, has not been relevant in a very long time, but sees an opportunity to grift and make a little bit of money. So Trump administration will probably give him a kickback for promoting ICE. But he's making his rounds now. He's making his rounds, everybody, because now he's on Fox News talking about it. Here you go, Jesse Waters.
So now I've spoken with some officials over at ICE, and I will be sworn in as an ICE agent ASAP. So they'll have 80,001 recruits for their 10,000 positions.
Well, they can't have a better guy than Dean Cain. Are you going to be hopping out of ICE vans and apprehending guys?
I will do whatever Director Lyons wants me to do. If that's what it takes, absolutely. I somehow doubt I'll be in that position, but I would be there in a heartbeat. These brave men and women need someone to stand up for them. So rarely, these days are we seeing
meet
that.
Your kryptonite.
Like
Illegals, meet your kryptonite. But anyway, I don't know if you guys noticed that in the video that they were showing. Does anybody remember what other group likes to hop out of U-Haul trucks and Penske rental trucks? I'll remind everybody, it's Patriot Front. Okay, so remember that video? Hopping out of the back of a Patriot, or out of the back of a Penske truck. So now we got, there you go. It's the same company, for fuck's sake. It's the same company. Anybody else feeling like sick to their stomach? I've been joking around that ICE has been hiring like Proud Boys and Patriot Front And now you got them using the same exact method they used to storm neighborhoods in their little cosplay fascist gear here and their plastic shields. Like, get the fuck out of here with that stupid ass shield. What are you going to do with that dumbass thing? But again, that is very, very similar to this one. Looks exactly the same to me, just different uniforms and government funded now. You know, I'm just saying. I'm not, you know, obviously I cannot confirm this information, but, you know, when you're using the same exact freaking rental companies, the same exact Penske moving trucks, it's a little obvious, don't you think? I mean, anyway, moving on. Dean Cain is a useless sack of shit. And I hope all of you get what you deserve that participate in this. And, you know, it's not... ICE is not having their doors kicked down if they're offering $50,000 bonuses. Either that or they're still not meeting these ridiculous quotas set up by Stephen Miller and Donald Trump. You don't offer $50,000 bonuses if you just have recruitment out the wazoo. You know what I'm saying? Like, if people are just knocking your door down to work for you, you don't throw out 50 G's. It's a lot of money. Okay, so just... money is money to some people. But just remember, you will sell your soul, and you will be on the wrong side of history on this one. This is something you definitely want to stay away from. Okay? Money isn't worth everything, and it's definitely not worth you selling out like this. You're not protecting the country. Do not believe the lies. Most of the people are innocent, have committed no crimes. Me and James are going to talk about a guy who, in Texas, apparently a Lebanese immigrant who owned a chain of Trump burger stores. He is now being deported. So again, when they say defend the culture, they mean white culture. They're just going after people that have brown skin. They're 100% racially profiling people. Doesn't matter if you're here legally, illegally, if you've never committed a crime in your life, it does not matter anymore. Okay? Why else do you think Donald Trump is literally erasing parts of the Constitution off government websites? Especially the parts about due process and habeas corpus. Little concerning. So, all right. Damn, we've been talking for 38 minutes yet, and I still have a lot of stuff to get through. So moving on from D. Cain and ICE. I think that's all I have on ICE. Let me look just to make sure. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so moving on from Kristi Noem and ICE. I can't wait to see. I haven't watched South Park in years until recently. I just can't wait to see what else they do the rest of the season. Jeez, those are just the first 2 episodes, for crying out loud. Holy cow. They were going hard in the paint. Like, I like to think Mike and I go hard in the paint, but we are restricted in what we can say. They are not. You know what I mean? They just got paid $1.5 billion for their network, for their cartoon. They're not going anywhere, and they know it. They know it. They cashed that check and were like, all right, watch this. All right. Hey, fan from Canada. What's up, man? Crazy times indeed. Yeah, welcome in from Canada. It sucks here right now. I'm actually considering becoming a Canadian citizen, crossing the border illegally. I'm not even playing. Like, the thought has crossed my mind. A lot of countries are offering Americans asylum right now. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. I believe Canada is one of them. You wouldn't need a passport to go if you're seeking asylum from political persecution. You know what I mean? So it is something to be considered. I've told some trans friends of mine that, you know, Canada is a viable option where you'll at least get better medical insurance and better medical care. I know they complain about medical insurance up in Canada too, or the medical care, but trust me, in America, you can't even afford to get sick. Getting sick in America could literally cripple a family you can get crippled by a disease, but then your medical bills will cripple your entire family. I used to be in the car business, dude. I don't know how many times I've seen people file bankruptcy because of freaking medical debt and almost losing everything. Nursing homes are the worst. Jesus Christ. Nursing homes in America, they can attach themselves to your house. They can take your house, everything you have in retirement savings. You literally sign all your finances over to some of these nursing homes. It's insane. So, but yeah, welcome in from Canada. So we got Canada and Denmark in the house. I love it. I love it. All right. Let's see. Let's talk about how Donald Trump wants to use the FBI to go after Democrats. You know, I don't hear the gerrymandering thing, also known as rigging an election. I don't hear any Republicans voters. They're being very quiet lately. MAGA's very quiet lately. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but even in my comments, and that's how it's going to be. They're not going to leave the Trump cult proudly with their hands in the air, fist pumping. They're going to leave in silence because they're ashamed and they're embarrassed of what they've done and what they've become. That's what's going to happen. But yeah, gerrymandering, also known as cheating on an election to make sure that Democrats cannot win the state of Texas. Literally impossible to win, especially with this new map. I mean, right now it's pretty much impossible with the current map, and they want to make it even harder. So the Dems responded to the FBI. Says we will not be intimidated. As it happens, this shit's crazy. This is what's called weaponizing the Department of Justice. You know that thing that Donald Trump cried about for all those years? Oh, they weaponized it against me. Well, that's exactly what he's doing. But when he does it, Trump supporters are okay with it. When Texas tries to gerrymander so Democrats can't win, they don't say anything. Well, that's too far. You're rigging a free and fair election. Remember that term you guys used all the time? We want a free and fair election. Well, the politicians you guys elected are literally cheating. They're quite literally cheating. They're trying to do it through legal means by manipulating current statutes and laws. You know what I mean? They cherry pick. They do it with the Constitution too. They cherry pick the parts they want. They do it with the Bible. They cherry pick the parts they want and then leave the rest out. And that's what they're doing here. But J.B. Pritzker from Illinois, that sounds right, decided to take some of them in. And he's like, you're not coming for them. And what are you going to do? First of all, they haven't broken any laws. Like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? They haven't broken a single law. Not showing up to work is not illegal. It's frowned upon. You know, maybe there's some, write them up. You know what I mean? Get a little written warning. Maybe a verbal warning. You can't fire them. They're elected officials. You know what I'm saying? So, like, what is the plan? What are you going to do? Arrest them, come back, make them come back, and then force them to vote for your gerrymandering? And they're not the only state that's doing this, dude. Florida's going to do it. And other Republican states are going to follow suit. I'm waiting for Oklahoma to do it. But this is their tactic. They are going to try and quite literally steal the 2026 election. It's already taking shape. Mike and I have talked about it on a couple episodes now. This is becoming a recurring theme where they've rescheduled elections, gerrymandering maps. This is a problem. This is why I worry about next year's election, because honestly though, they keep telling the American MAGA, think about this. They keep telling us how popular their policies are and how good of a job Donald Trump is doing. If that were true, why would they need to quite literally redraw the maps so Democrats have no chance of winning? Does that make sense to you? Does that sound like a free and fair election? Anybody in the comments? Hi, Lady Nessa. How are you? Coming over here from Twitch. You probably thought I was gaming. I'm not. I'm actually talking shit. It's good to see you. Oh, by the way, hopefully you're gonna try that new Battlefield 6 demo. I have it downloaded, ready to go. I'm excited. Yeah, I'm also a gamer, guys. I'm also a big old nerd. So if you guys ever want to watch me play video games, I do it on Twitch and Kick And, oh, nice, cool. She's going to play it. Perfect. So that's somebody I can play with. Yay. Yes, I'm 47. Anywho, back to the topic at hand. But yeah, Democrats, I think watching them take a stand and do something outside the box is refreshing. It is refreshing. I'm tired of the performative bullshit, like the Cory Bookers and all that. Like Cory Booker had given us all hope. He gave us all a little bit of hope just to turn around and vote with Republicans and then vote to fund Israel, which we'll get into here in a second. But let me show you the video of J.B. Pritzker responding. Now, he's got some clout because he is, in fact, the billionaire himself. So, yeah, he's part of that billionaire boys club.
We're not going to let the bluster and threats from John Cornyn, even from Donald Trump. There is no federal law that dictates that these people could be arrested. Can they send FBI agents to, try to threaten or, create some scene? Maybe, but there is no federal law that allows them to arrest these legislators. And as you said, the civil warrant that was issued by the House leadership, the Republican leadership in Texas, is ridiculous. It has nothing to do with Illinois. We don't recognize their civil warrants from Texas. Right. Texas Rangers can come to Illinois and enjoy our lakefront, but they're not arresting anybody and taking them away.
But yeah, arresting, oh my God. It's so pathetic. It's so pathetic. But again, if you're so popular and your policies are working for the American people, prove it. Prove it. Run a fair campaign. Run a fair election. Not one where you're accepting a bunch of money from Israel or a bunch of money from these big tech donors. Like a legitimate election. Your policies versus theirs. I guarantee that the Democrats will wipe the floor, especially after these last 6 months. That's why they're so desperate. That's why they're so desperate. They have to gerrymander these states, or they're not going to win. They're not going to win, and they know it. But that's why I was worried. And somebody mentioned Project 2025. That's why I don't think there's going to be another election. Why would you go through decades and literally billions of dollars to just give it up in 2 to 4 years? To me, it just doesn't make sense. It's too much work. They've come way too far. And now what they're trying to implement, this Project Esther on top of Project 2025, I just don't see. I don't see it. I don't see ever having a free and fair election again. But here's also where I have a dilemma. I've talked about this before. If we got rid of all these people, right, we're still going to have the same corrupt system that we have now. We're still going to have it. Okay, we're still going to be able to buy off politicians. Foreign governments are still going to be able to, put politicians in their pockets so they get favorable policies, favorable funding, all that stuff. We have to burn this system to the ground. Metaphorically, of course. I don't want anybody out there, you're talking about committing violence. No. Metaphorically, this system is broken. American democracy is broken. It is corrupt to the core. And honestly, putting a Band-Aid on top of a giant knife wound just seems a little inappropriate, because that's what it would be if we got rid of Trump, J.D. Vance, even Mike Johnson. We still have the same system, the same corrupt system. We need something new, and the only way to do that, we can't fix this system. That's the problem. It is so broken, especially now after Donald Trump. It is so broken that I don't think this country is fixable. This democracy needs to be something better and something different, and I don't think you can do that without ripping it apart. So, I don't know. Maybe that's the plan. Maybe I'm just being naive. Hard to say. Hard to say these days. All right, so let's move on to the subject of Israel. Something we've been talking about for quite a while, and it's not getting any better. If anything, it's getting worse for Israel. Anti-Semitism is growing all across the world. It is not because people hate Jews. That's not the reason. It's because Israel, on behalf of Judaism, and again, these are Zionists, they're not representative of the Jewish people. Zionism are like MAGA Christians, okay? They're like the MAGA Christians of Judaism. They are giving the rest of the Jewish world a very, very bad name. Now, Mike and I, and a lot of people, are able to differentiate between Christians and MAGA Christians. We're able to differentiate from Jews and Zionists. Totally different things. You know what I mean? And to sit here and have my country tell me that I cannot criticize Israel because that's anti-Semitic. I can't say Israel's committing genocide in Gaza. I can't say they've murdered 18,500 children so far. That's anti-Semitic? I guess I'm just anti-Semitic then, because I'm never going to stop talking about this. But a lot of other people are starting to take notice of this. And I think Netanyahu has overstayed his welcome. But the other thing I worry about, and we're going to talk about this on a future show, is the War Powers Act. One of the reasons Netanyahu is still in power is because he attacked Gaza. At this point, I'm not even convinced that Hamas ever even attacked Israel. I'm not being a conspiracy theorist, but I'm not putting it past Mossad and Netanyahu to do a false flag operation to try and finally take over what they think is their chosen land. They think they're the chosen people, and the land belongs to them. You know what I'm saying? And as a result, they're starving people. They're starving people. The videos are not being pushed, but you can find them. And honestly, I'm sick of seeing them. There's a story of this little kid walked 7 miles barefoot just to get scraps, walked up to a U.S. soldier, kissed him on the hand, told him thank you. There's a story going around right now about it. I think the guy was just talking to Tucker Carlson about it. And that was the last thing the kid ever did. He turned around to leave, take the food, which was scraps, back to his family. He, again, just walked 7 miles barefoot, murdered by the IDF. A kid, probably 8, 10 years old, trying to save his family. I'm honestly getting choked up just talking about this shit. I'm sick of seeing kids with limbs missing, and I'm sick of hearing Netanyahu saying we're fighting against Hamas. I haven't seen a single fucking video of y'all fighting against Hamas since maybe like the beginning of all this shit. Not one. You know what I'm saying? Like, show us the videos. If y'all are fighting terrorists and truly fighting against Hamas, why have we not seen a single goddamn one of them? You know what I'm saying? Don't buy into this Israeli propaganda. That's what they're feeding us. That is what they're feeding us. America's starting to wake up to it. And Israel's going to have a problem because there is a contingent of Americans that don't like Jews. I'm just saying. A majority of Trump's base, not a big fan of the Jewish community. Because they do really follow this Hitler bullshit. Okay? So, but what kills me is like how people, I don't understand. Like Michael Rappaport's a perfect example of a Zionist. He is out here praising Israel, talking all this shit about Gaza, trying to push this narrative that every Palestinian is evil, every one of them is a terrorist, and blah, 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 blah. Well, we're starting to find out they're just regular people. And Hamas, has anybody ever considered that Hamas only exists because of Israeli oppression? Has anybody ever considered this is what happens when you radicalize an entire country? Donald Trump, have you ever thought of that? I'm just saying, you can only push people so far. But going back to the War Powers Act, I'm worried that Donald Trump and his administration are going to push this country to the breaking point where there is going to be an uprising, and then they can go ahead and declare, oh, there's an uprising, there's a revolution, there's a war, I need to stay in power. Because that's exactly what Netanyahu did. They attacked Gaza, and they haven't stopped. Because if they do, Netanyahu knows he'll be charged with all the crimes that he's committed. The only reason he's in power is because of this war. Quite literally the only reason. I'm going to replay this video of Netanyahu lying his ass off, saying there is absolutely no starvation in Gaza. And everything is just going just smoothly. And then I'm going to play a video of some propaganda from one of the news channels, just to give you an idea.
No starvation in Gaza, no policy of starvation in Gaza. And I assure you that we have a commitment to achieve our war goals. We'll continue to fight till we achieve the release of our hostages and the destruction of Hamas's military and governing capabilities. They shall be there no more. We shall not have any more of these massacres. We shall not have any more of these monstrosities. We stand for human freedom and human life.
Okay, we'll stop it there. We stand for human freedom and human life while we simultaneously starve millions of people. Okay. But anyway, look, this is the type of propaganda that gets pushed out. All right, Netanyahu's out there, doing his thing, meeting with Trump at the Oval Office, actual war criminals. Holy shit, I just found out today that Vladimir Putin's going to be on U.S. soil here soon. I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but Vladimir Putin, war criminal, murderer, is going to be in Alaska meeting with his bitch, Donald Trump. And so far it looks like they're going to pretty much talk about giving all of eastern Ukraine to Russia. You know what I'm saying? The guy, we have the most incompetent and ineffective leader in possibly human history. He is just, everybody walks all over him. It is truly incredible. So let me just show you an example of propaganda that gets pushed out to the world by actual news stations. Now here they say that Israel is going in, but then they start to say that they're going to do it and they're going to help and they're going to bring food and blah, blah, blah. We know this is not true, but this is the shit they push out into the world.
An eye on your world on this Friday morning. Israel's security cabinet.
Let me add it back in.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's plan to occupy Gaza City.
There has been widespread opposition to the plan and mass protests across the country. It is expected to displace approximately 1 million Palestinians, which Israel's military plans to house in compounds. Netanyahu has said he will hand over control to Arab forces once Hamas.
Compounds are also known as concentration camps, just so we're clear. Oh, let me start again. Sorry.
Gaza military plans to house in compounds. Netanyahu has said he will hand over control to Arab forces once Hamas is ousted.
Joining us now is Tina Kraus. And Tina, what else do we know about these plans right now?
Well, under the plan to defeat Hamas in the Gaza Strip, Israel's army says it'll prepare to take control of the territory's largest city while providing humanitarian assistance to the civilian population outside the combat zones. The UN is warning a complete military takeover, though, would be risking catastrophic consequences for hostages and Palestinian civilians. There's frustration and there's fear in Gaza City. One man said there's nothing left here to occupy in the first place. Everything's gone and people are dying.
The news comes as several countries have said they're preparing to recognize.
But again, they keep saying they're going to do it humanely and they're going to bring food and they're going to put them in compounds. You know what I mean? They're using the wrong verbiage. This is ethnic cleansing. And they're going to put people in concentration camp. I mean, Gaza is pretty much just an open-air concentration camp at this point. There's no water. There's no food, no electricity, no internet in most places. And most of the towns and cities have been completely evaporated by the bombs that we sent. But again, they are losing support. Germany, who has been a huge supporter of Israel, has decided enough is enough. Which, when Germany, says it, it's kind of like, yeah, maybe, maybe we should listen. So let me go ahead and just zoom in on this real quick. So Germany, I didn't know this, but behind the United States, Germany is Israel's largest financial supporter when as far as like bombs and arms and all that shit. They are pulling support. Okay, the UK is short right behind there. So again, USA number one, then comes Germany after the USA. Canada, who is also now recently, I believe, said that, yeah, that's right. They recently recognized Palestine as an official state, as a Palestinian state, Gaza there. So that's good. France, I believe, also. And then now you have Germany. This is a big problem. This is a big problem because they need all the support they can possibly get, and they're losing it. Like Donald Trump, they're losing support. You know what I'm saying? Donald Trump has been consistently losing support ever since he won the election, which I still don't buy. But yeah. So, Israel's not seen to be so favorable these days. Of course, in America, they are. American politicians, I don't know, man. They just love Israel. They really, really do. Let me get rid of this. Holy shit, I forgot about this. This is hilarious. We'll be talking about this more on Monday or Tuesday. But you know how Donald Trump got the jobs numbers and was mad about it, so he fired the person? So they brought in some new person, and now the numbers are incredible. So this is what they posted to the White House. Quote, this is what the guy on the left says to Donald Trump. I'm going to play the video in another episode. Mr. President, you gained 10 times more income for the average family than Joe Biden. I'm sorry, are any of you out there making 10 times more than you were 6 months ago? This is the dumbest shit ever. Who buys this? This is on the White House's official Twitter page. This is nuts. People believe this shit. What am I talking about? We got people drinking raw milk in Florida. Of course they believe this shit. People going to the hospital because of raw milk. The guy today that shot the CDC building up because he thought the COVID vaccine made him sick. It wasn't a college shooting. The guy was targeting a CDC building because he thought COVID vaccine made him sick. We live in the dumbest timeline in human history. I swear, it is beyond maddening sometimes to live in America. And it's hard for my mental health. It's hard. Like this whole last week, I've been really struggling because when you report on nothing but this shit gets old. This shit gets old. Like, I'm so tired of seeing, you know what I mean? These ridiculous people, the most corrupt people possible. And, like, honestly, this is what got me banned from TikTok. Just so you guys know, I was recently banned from TikTok. I made another account. If you're interested in following me on TikTok on my new account, the Soros-funded PSYOP, you can find that information in my link tree as well. But yeah, this is what got me banned on TikTok. Like, I don't know about you guys, and I'm not recommending anybody don't follow laws, okay? But this is just for me personally. I have a very big problem following any fucking law written by pedophiles and people that protect pedophiles. But by a guy who was found liable for rape, by a guy who stole classified secrets from the United States and then led a coup because he was butthurt that he lost the election. So he led a coup against the Capitol building, almost hung his vice president, and then is now talking about pardoning convicted sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell. I have a personal problem following laws made by these fucking people. That is a dilemma that I am having. I'm serious. This is a serious conversation that I have with myself. If it comes down to it, am I able to follow these laws? Because morally, I can't. Morally, I can't. I just can't. I mean, common sense says this is stupid. Why are we following laws made by criminals? That's what they are. That's what they are. They're all criminals. They're all criminals. Democrats, too. They're taking money from foreign countries. That's criminal. Unfortunately, in America, it's called politics, but it should be illegal. I have problems following these laws. You know what I mean? Especially when you're going to be in my face talking about law and order. You want to talk to me about you're covering up the worst, one of the worst sex trafficking rings, an actual pedophile ring. You're covering it up for the president of the United States. And then you want to talk to my face about law and order and protect the kids? I swear to God, I'm going to chop you in the throat next time I hear a Republican say, oh, we're about protecting the children. No, you're not. You're about protecting the predators. You're about protecting the people that touch the kids. That is what you are now, Republicans. So just know that 40%, that 47% of those people that are okay with Donald Trump being in the Epstein files, they are okay. Not only are they okay with it, they would vote for him again. We live in a sick, sick country. Again, we do not have an immigration problem in this country. We have a pedo problem. We have a Nazi problem. Unfortunately, the pedos are the Nazis. But we have a problem in America, and it damn sure is not immigrants. This country was built off the back of immigrants and slaves. And now they want to talk about protect the culture. And don't get it twisted. Like I said, they're Hitler posting. They're talking about white culture. Don't get it. Do not misinterpret that post in the least, please. That is a dog whistle. Okay? And again, most people are going to see that and not think anything of it. But when you're paranoid like me and you've studied in depth German history, you see the parallels and it freaks you out. You know what I mean? I just know a lot about German history because my mom's from Germany. She was born during World War II, orphaned by the Nazis. My grandmother was forced sterilized by the Nazis, the woman that adopted her, because she was disabled. So, like, you know what I mean? I taught myself a lot about German history and what the Nazis did. This is not history. We want repeating itself. We should have punished the people that... Maybe that was America's problem. We didn't punish the people that participated in the Civil War on the Confederacy. You know what I mean? We should have punished their future generations. None of your future generations can ever hold office for committing treason. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got off easy. And the second mistake we made as a country is we did not punish the pro-Nazi movement in the 1930s. We let them just reintegrate to society like nothing happened. Just like Trump supporters are going to try and do. They're going to try and reintegrate into society like nothing ever happened, and we cannot let them do it, okay? This is the moment we have to decide that we're going to shame these people into fucking oblivion. Like, these people should, their future generations should feel the shame of their actions. That's how serious I am about this. Yeah, after everything they put us through, I think it's just fair. So, all right, couple more news stories. This is actually going to be a longer episode. I like this. This one I thought was funny. There's a couple Doge stories. First, Doge is a giant waste of money. Not like this is a shock to anybody, but just so we can confirm it. So Doge tore through the National Weather Service. This is from, what article? Independent. Like a tornado with mass firings. Well, guess what? Now they're rehiring a bunch of them. I think almost all of them. Yeah, 450 out of the 550 people that were fired, who are all still getting paid, by the way. They either took the early retirement thing that they offered them, or they're on unemployment. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't save any money, but now they have to rehire all these people back that they fired, which is going to cost money for the company to onboard them. It's going to cost the government money to rehire all of these people. And you know the crazy part? You know how the flood, there wasn't like they're still setting up weather balloons. Okay, so people are saying they're not setting up any weather balloons anymore and blah, blah, blah. They're still setting up weather balloons. We're still getting all the information. The problem is now there's gaps in the chain of command. That's why people in Texas didn't know about the flood, because the person that would normally get that information out to the public didn't exist anymore because he took Doge's early retirement plan. So yeah, Doge was an entire joke. Its entire purpose was to steal our information, to hand it over to Peter Thiel and Palantir and Oracle, who's another company that I have a huge problem with. For those of you guys that don't know Oracle, they are another. They're in the running to buy TikTok. They're quite literally a data farm, and they used to work for the CIA. They used to work for the CIA on something called Project Oracle, no less. And they turn around and name the company Oracle. Not to be trusted. The thought police is real. Jesus Christ. So anyway, all right, so again, Doge, giant waste of money, is going to end up costing way more money than it actually saved, because it didn't really save any money. We're still not getting Doge stimulus checks, MAGA. Get that out of your head. Now Donald Trump is out there saying they're going to give tariff rebates. Tariff rebates are hilarious. So all right. A lot of people on the right are starting to come to the realization that Americans are the ones paying the tariff. So you're going to make me pay more. I'm going to pay thousands of dollars. I just went grocery shopping the other day, about damn near had a heart attack at how expensive it was. You're going to make me pay thousands of dollars a year more in tariffs on products that I buy on a daily basis, and then you're going to turn around and give me back a couple $100 of my own money, you fucking asshole. What kind of plan is this? And then you got MAGA on TikTok like, we're getting a check. You didn't learn from the Doge stimulus check? Are you still waiting for? Do you think you're getting two checks? Are you waiting for both the Doge stimulus check and this new one too? The tariff rebate check? These people will believe anything. And of course, the tariff rebate checks will go down, or will go out after we've paid down all of our debt. Yes. Also, there's a website now where you can go and donate your own money to pay down the national debt. They actually have a website. It's like, if you would like to kindly help and do your national duty. Blah, blah, blah. That shit is hilarious, man. Yeah, okay, so all right, so yeah, just hold your breath. Okay, shit in one hand, wish in the other, I think is the phrase. See which one fills up first, because you're not getting a goddamn penny from this administration. Not a single little bit. And then the next one of you, I swear to God, I'm going to slap somebody when they're like, Donald Trump's donating his salary. Ooh. Okay, so the whole reason the president gets a salary is to prevent corruption. They're supposed to take the salary so they don't line their pockets with, I don't know, meme coins or private jets that is going to cost Americans $1 billion to renovate. You know, that's why you take the salary. But Donald Trump's out here bragging because I donate my $400,000 salary. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody. You've made billions with a B since you took office, and you're going to go out here and talk to me about fucking, I donated my paycheck. I will slap you. I will slap you. All right, anyway, the last story before we get out of here. This is a good one. So Doge, the guy that used to be known as Big Balls, I love how these guys come up with these names, was the shit beat out of him. Had literally the shit beat out of him. I don't know if they have it in here, the picture. No, they don't have the picture. Actually, probably better, because YouTube gets mad when there's any blood. So Elon Musk, of course, taking the story and running with it without knowing any of the pertinent information. There are allegations that the kid was using the N-word towards a group of black teenagers. That is unverified. I don't know. It's hard to say with these stories anymore. But Elon Musk appears to be greatly exaggerating the extent of the attack on former Doge staffer Edward Korstein, a.k.a. Big Balls, who I can't believe we had an employee in the running through our systems named Big Balls. The billionaire claimed Korstein heroically stopped a gang of a dozen young men from assaulting a woman in her car at night. And he was severely beaten as a result to the point of concussion. Musk ended his retelling by calling for the federal government to take over D.C. This is why Donald Trump wants to take over D.C., is because Big Balls was drunk at 3 a.m. and got the living shit beat out of him by a group of teens. That's why you want to turn the National Guard loose. And I believe he's even implementing a curfew after midnight. Not a curfew, but they're like patrolling the streets after midnight now. Like, what? So anyway, this is the post. Let me show you the post to Donald Trump and Elon Musk, because this is crazy. So Elon Musk wrote, a few days ago, a gang of a dozen young men tried to assault a woman in her car at night in D.C. A Doge team member saw what was happening, ran to defend her, and was severely beaten to the point of concussion, but he saved her. Okay, let me show you the post and just say, first of all, if you see a gang of men and you're by yourself, are you jumping into this shit? Like, who do you think you are? Like, okay, if you're going to save a woman, truly save a woman, great. But from what I read, it was like the girlfriend of one of the kids, and I mean, some of the kids were arrested and all this shit. But it's just, again, it's hard to tell. It's getting harder and harder to tell what is the true story and what is just bullshit propaganda made up by these people. So Donald Trump then posts, crime in D.C. totally out of control. Local youths in question marks or quotation marks and gang members, none of them I don't think were actually gangs. Some only 14, 15, and 16 years old are randomly attacking, mugging, maiming, and shooting innocent citizens with a capital C, at the same time knowing they will be almost immediately released. Nobody is walking around and randomly mugging, maiming, and shooting people. I mean, yeah, crime happens, but not like this. Like, they're making it seem like it's an epidemic of people just running around beating the crap out of each other. But anyway, he goes on to the bottom here. It says, if this continues, I'm going to exert my powers and federalize this city, make America great again. I'm actually surprised he didn't end it with, thank you for your attention to this matter. But they're praising this Big Balls guy on Fox News like he's some hero. I don't know who this jackass is, but he's on Greg Gutfeld's show. And they're making this guy out to seem like he's some kind of saint. All people should be like this. Stupid? Like, what's the point of all this? Here we go.
Hyde would have been better off dying, because he would be redeemed, and they did talk about him for years. And as a coward, that saying is so true. A soldier dies but once. A coward dies a million deaths, because you will always be that guy. Mm-hmm. So for this young man to be this courageous, you have to almost be like, wow, this should be the norm.
The audio so off.
The problem is that we've worked so hard to water men down, to try to teach them to not get involved, not help. And the ones who suffer the most are women, because whether you want to argue it or not, physically, they're just not as strong as men. And when men attack, the only way to protect women is with other men. Mm. So you see this, and instead of calling them big balls, we should...
See, this is the alpha male mentality. Okay, this is yeah. That was it was a has-been wrestler. Oh, okay, yeah. He's the perfect guy to talk about fake wrestling, and you're talking about beating people up in self-defense and all that shit. But, yeah. So we don't know truly what happened to Big Balls. He is a racist little piece of shit who has posted Nazi stuff in the past. So the whole running out of a bar drunk at 3 a.m. and seeing a group of black kids and yelling the N-word, I could see that being a justifiable reason for having the shit beat out of him. Okay? I find it very hard to believe that people like this, with no empathy, no care for human life, would save a random woman. You know what I mean? Like, give me a break. Give me a break. But they're out here playing like he's a hero. He's a hero. He saved this woman. No, he didn't. He's got the shit beat out of him. But that is the reason they want to federalize D.C. is because of big balls. Jesus Christ, man. These people make my head hurt. These people truly make my head hurt. So, all right, moving on. Moving on. Yeah, let's watch Trump wander around on the roof again. That was always fun.
Mr. President, what are you doing up there? Come down and talk to us.
Could have been a strong breeze right at that moment.
Are you considering more renovations, sir?
Are you going to build up?
Aye, sir.
Are the Epstein files up there?
Sir, do you approve nuclear missiles? Are you building missiles? What?
I don't understand the joke, but yeah, building nuclear missiles on top of the White House. Building nukes on the White House. What a fucking nut job. So, all right, last thing. Let's look at Donald Trump's Truth Social feed. Like I told you, this just happened at 6 o'clock. Oh, God, I got to verify I'm human again. Even though Donald Trump is not human. What? Man, shut up. This stupid-ass website. Oh, my God. Donald Trump wants his own Purple Heart. Oh, God. Donald Trump's 6 biggest wins at 200 days in office. This is how all of his feed is. This is literally... I'm sorry, is that Spanish? That's... Okay. The peace president. Okay, he signed a fake peace deal. He did do that. Totally fake. Completely performative. And where is it? There we go. Donald Trump is bringing... I called this shit. My God, I fucking called this shit. I said we would have Putin. I said the White House. I was wrong. But I said we would have Putin on American soil if Donald Trump were to win president. I was fucking right. God damn it. I hate being right sometimes, man. I hate it. But yeah, Vladimir Putin, murderer, war criminal, warmonger, is coming to the White House, or to America, not to negotiate for peace with Ukraine, but they're going to, again, this is performative. Putin's going to come in and tell him exactly what he wants, and Donald Trump's going to go, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please don't release the P tapes. Thank you, sir. And that's what's going to happen. And then Donald Trump's going to come out and go, I made a deal. And then the deal is going to be complete shit. And then, like always, Putin is going to violate the peace deal. That's what happens every time. Every time Putin makes a peace deal with Trump, every time Netanyahu makes a peace deal with Trump, they break it because they know Trump isn't going to do a goddamn thing to them. Israel and Russia, Trump ain't touching them. They know too much. They've got the dirt on Donald Trump. How do you think Donald Trump has been a failure? He has failed at every business he has ever owned. Ever. Casinos, vodka, freaking board game. Yeah, he had the Trump board game. That was a thing. He has failed. How does somebody that fails at everything they have ever done stay rich without the help of outside forces? like, I don't know, the Russian government or Israel. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think Israel so much as far as Donald Trump, but I feel like Russia's been playing Trump for a very long time. They've kind of groomed him. I mean, Trump Tower is basically bought out by Russian money. It's just a fact. You know what I'm saying? But that's how Donald Trump has maintained his status, his wealth. He's been propped up by foreign money. Most people, when you file bankruptcy, most people barely recover, if at all recover. You know what I'm saying? I've seen bankruptcies wipe entire life savings out of it for people. But Donald Trump has had, what, 4 to 6? And that's not including all the failed businesses on top of that. But has somehow maintained and still been a billionaire the entire time. It doesn't happen, folks, okay? This is reality, where when you lose money, it's really hard to get it back, okay? You don't just go out there and spend money like Donald Trump does and make awful, god-awful business decisions and then stay rich unless you are propped up by somebody, okay? That, I feel like, is Russia. I honestly still think that Russia is had Trump in their pocket since, like, the 80s. And we've covered that story before, how Operation Krasnov. So anyway, that's all I have for today, guys. I hope you had a good time on the show today. I will be back on tomorrow, same time, 8 o'clock, going over tomorrow's news stories and stuff that I find from today. And also Sunday, we'll be back on at 2 o'clock, Monday, Tuesday, 9 p.m. So love you guys. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for the gifted memberships. I appreciate it. Again, if you guys want to donate, please go to the link tree in my bio or in the description of this video. Top link in the link tree is our GoFundMe. Help be part of our origin story. Okay, we want to take this to the next level. Make this into an official entity. We don't want to be just a podcast anymore. We want to be an actual media group. And I have a lot of people ready to make content. We just don't have the time or the resources at the moment. Thank you guys for your help. Brina, thank you for moderating for me. I appreciate you very much. Thank you for sending me the stories as well. And left me a message. Did she leave me a message on email or in here? Post the schedule. I'm old. All right, yeah, I'll tell you what. If I'll post our schedule in the community section on our YouTube and on our social media. Oh, also, if you guys want to follow us on social media, all that information is in our link tree too, along with our merch. So yeah, what did hold on before I get out of here? Where'd she go? Ann left me a message. Where's the message? Ann, where'd you go? I'm looking. You need to cover the Nebraska town hall with Mike Flood. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. Please let them call in. Yep, I got to figure out a way to do that too. That would be a lot of fun. So, yeah, I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was a little bit longer than usual, so it's good. I'm trying to get into mode where I can stream for longer and longer and longer, and still be relatively entertaining and not just sit here and stare at my camera. So, working on it. Love you guys. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good rest of your night.